Good evening, and thank you so much for joining me. Sorry, I feel like I'm spread a little bit funny on the screen. Let me check how to change the screen setting a little bit. How are you? How is everyone? Has that changed anything? No, not yet. Oh, there we go. I think I've got it. There we are. I'm so sorry. I'm a few minutes late. I was I was on a reading. It's true. Um, I was on a reading, and that reading made me think about the topic that I want to talk about with you this evening. If you're new to the show, my name's Inbal. I'm a psychic, tarot reader, and witch, and I like to get up close and personal with psychic development tricks and tips on a Tuesday night. This is the first show of 2026. Happy New Year to everybody. I hope you had a nice festive season if you celebrate. We've got a few messages that have come in already. If you would like to send a message, go right ahead and type it wherever you are. So we've got some messages coming in from YouTube. Rob is watching us on YouTube, going hello, hello. Ashraf Siddiq is sending us sparkles. Thank you, Ashraf. And Sabrina says, Hola Inbal. Davis is sending question marks. All of those came from YouTube. But if you were to send me a message, for example, from Facebook, because at the moment we're on the Bigfoot Facebook, we're on the Grizzly Facebook, and we're on my Inbaal Psychic Facebook, you would be able to send messages as well. The only platform that unfortunately doesn't show me your messages is Instagram, even though I can see KPal. Hi, Kamal Sheila. I can see your message because I switched browsers because I'm sort of looking around on the screen. But let's see what messages we have. We've got Davis saying, I don't understand. You're exactly the right person to be sticking around. Sabrina says, Happy New Year. Have an amazing show. Have to jump off. Mwah. Have an amazing time at work. And look who's joining us. So Ashraf says, hello from Bangladesh. How exciting. Thank you for joining us. I'm obviously broadcasting from the UK, but this channel broadcasts mostly from the US. We've got different programs about different esoteric topics. So we've got some shows about psychic stuff like this, some shows about mediumship, crystals, cryptids, Bigfoot, ghost hunts. We've got a little bit of everything for everyone. Rob says, I have somehow ended up on super zoomed in feed, so can't see everyone else's messages, but hello to everyone. So, Rob, for you and also for everybody else watching, at the moment, this studio that I'm in, like studios, like a virtual studio, broadcasts on two different YouTube broadcasts. So you might be watching the portrait shape broadcast, and then I'm seeing on my screen the landscape shape broadcast. They are separate. You can't switch like just on the broadcast from one to the other, but you can pop out, look for the other one, like on my channel. It's going out twice simultaneously, and then you might be able to see it in a more appealing way. Oh, Roger Blair is here saying howdy from Eastern Kentucky. How's the weather in Eastern Kentucky at the moment? Here, where I'm in northern England, we had a couple of days of snow, and that's it. it melted today. Nital is saying, is Nital, isn't it? Saying hi, 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 hi. And sorry, it's going a little slow. The beloved Asher, I'm trying to show right now. The beloved Asher is saying, name a car for a edit. Curious. Now, I told you that when people send the messages from YouTube, there's a little YouTube mark. And when people send the messages from Facebook, like Mort Ali did there, there's a little F for Facebook. So Mort Ali saying hello and Happy New Year. Very Happy New Year to you. Now, just to show you what we do here, look at that. Sabrina says, if you're accepting questions, can I have one January? I'll watch later. Yeah, let's have a little January read for you. So, what can Sabrina expect? As it's the first show of the year, you can also ask, like, how's the year going to look for me? But it's also the first show of January. So, can I have January reading? What can Sabrina expect in January? And what it shows here is that you can expect new beginnings. So there is some interesting interaction that allows you to sort of go on the right path for you. It's showing strength, as in winning, and it also shows the Empress, which is such a gentle, feminine card that I'm thinking this is either like the female relationships in your life, or this is somebody who is coming into your life, like a love interest coming into your life, and somebody who views you as this, phenomenal, ultra feminine, kind, generous person. So these are the three that you've got. So you see kind of the fire and the new beginnings, but I love that it ends on this sort of really, really gentle, note. We've got an unnecessary message here, but thank you for the engagement. And Kim Princess says, hi everyone. Hi, Happy New Year. Roger telling me the weather in Kentucky, 58 Fahrenheit currently, but the wind is blowing, making it feel colder than it is. So many times, I think your weather and our weather is really, really similar. So all the snow melted today because we got to 3 degrees. So 3 degrees is just above, is it like 28? Fahrenheit? It's just above freezing. But it got kind of shadowy and damp and windy, so it felt really cold here as well. So yeah, it's colder, but it's the wind that makes a difference. Rob says, thank you for the engagement. Love it. I know. We should get a ringtone and call it the engagement ring. Like every time there's silly, unnecessary engagement, I could make the little ringtone. Anyway, so the topic I wanted to talk about is good news really good news? Question mark. Let me take a sip and tell you what I'm talking about. Incidentally, if anybody else would like a little reading, don't be shy. This is what I do here. But yeah, I was just on the phone with a client in another country whose partner is unfaithful. And the questions that she wanted answered is, how does he feel for me? How does he feel for the other woman? Does he want to be with me? And the answers were all around the region of, yes, he does love you. No, he doesn't feel anything for the other woman. Yes, he does want to, have a relationship with you. He just needs for you to sort of put up with, whatever it is that he's doing with other people. Yes, he does want to have a family with you. And I felt awful because what I was giving her, realistically was good news. Sure, your boyfriend loves you, but what I wanted to be able to say to her is no, he doesn't love you at all. You have to move on from him. And the fact that I had to give her this, this good news, this allegedly good news, um, which was reassuring her, um, was really not what I wanted to share. So I'm wondering if any of you have got thoughts on this. If you have really good cards, if you have really good um, predictions with somebody, or with, say, a job situation that is awful for you, how would you put it across? So we've got a couple of new messages. First, even though he's not come up first, he's coming up first on my screen, is Trevor. Trevor from London is sending a message saying, just passing through, Inbal. Good evening to you. See you soon back on Insta. God bless. Mwah. Blessings to you too. Instagram, for those who don't know me that well, Instagram is my favorite way of keeping in touch. So I'm on Instagram many hours every day, and I'll check in on you. I'm actually sort of checking in to see who's on Instagram right now. Yay, we've got everybody there. But yeah, I will see you back on Instagram. We have an interesting question from Godzilla saying, are you the real deal? It is my actual job. I'm a full-time psychic. I have been a full-time psychic for 25 years now, 26 years. Wait, if I started in 2000, yeah, 26 years now. It's something that I believe in. And it's something that when I work with clients, all the time, it's something that they believe in. So if Godzilla, if it's something that also you believe in, then yes, definitely the real deal. If it's not something that you believe in, then nobody is really the real deal for you. And that's also cool. Everybody's got their opinions and they're all valid. Robert says, I would love a reading. Any general message from me would be much appreciated. Absolutely. Let's have a little look. So, reading for Rob. Ooh, do you know what? A lot better than expected. It says that you're going through bursts of energy over the coming 3 weeks or so, where you're going through bursts of energy where you're feeling sort of very driven, very motivated, and then there's like an energy drop. So it'll be like a couple of days that you're focused, you're, driven, you're motivated, and then like 5 days that you're not. I said it's better than expected because, quite honestly, December, we didn't have those 2 days, just these. But in between all of that, it shows that being close to women, that keeping women around you, that keeping a feminine energy around you is what will lift you up. So at the moment, the boys in your life, the male friends, male relatives, absolutely useless. No need for them. At the moment, the female friends, the female relatives are actually the ones that will keep you, buoyed. So yeah, let me know if that makes sense. We've got, all right, Rob is saying hi, Trevor, and Rob is kindly saying Godzilla. Yes, she is the real deal, believe me. Thank you. Trevor says, hello there, Robert. Have a nice night. Thank you. Great to see you. Kim has a fabulous answer. Sorry, I only read the first half, but I feel like I'm really, really on board with that. Saying, I would give the truth, but then my opinion, and say, although the cards say this, in my opinion, you should never be with anyone who cheats on you. You are God's child and deserve to be treated with the utmost respect. You're here for a short time and deserve to be loved with no conditions. that is exactly what I did. And I went all in with that. I said to her, you know, we don't know each other. I said, but if I said to you, I'm with somebody and I love him so much, but he keeps cheating on me, what would you say to me? And I'm a stranger. What would you say to me? And she's like, yeah, I would tell you to leave him. And I said to her, like, because, you know, she's much younger than me. I said to her, now imagine that I'm telling you, like, my daughter is with somebody who keeps cheating on her. What would you say? You would be horrified. She's like, yeah, I would be horrified. So we are exactly on the same wavelength, Kim. And I love the words that you said. You are God's child and deserve to be treated with the utmost respect. That's right, because it's not even sort of putting her at the moment, her self-esteem is so low that she can't view herself as particularly special, but she's special in the sense that we are all special just by force of our humanity and the divine spark in us. Thank you, Kim. Rob says, wait, what was the topic for tonight's chat? I missed it. Sorry, was typing to Trevor. So I was a little late because I was on the phone with a gorgeous lady, and I know she's gorgeous because, you know, most people find me on Instagram. So I get to see her picture every time she rings. She is with somebody who cheats on her, and her cards are showing that he loves her. And, you know, is it the love that's important, or is it like the actions that's important? And for you, Rob, because, you know, you do readings as well, how would you put it across to the person when they're with somebody who is so obviously, like, you know, a lesson rather than the right person for them? How would you put it across to them? So I loved Kim's answer, but I would love some more points of view. Kim sending a green heart. Sorry, I'm holding just the one because I'm expecting you to put the other one. And Rob very kindly says, thank you. Made perfect sense. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mort Ali has the best question. He says, do you follow your intuition first before the cards that are pulled? Thank you. That is a fabulous question. You don't realize how fabulous the question is, because when you read the cards, it is your intuition that does the reading. Do you know what I mean? You don't just sort of take the card and say, well, you know, this is the cups, and the Seven of Cups always means this, that, and the other, and that's what is coming for you. And then, you know, we have the Eight of Wands, and then the book says that the Eight of Wands means this, that, and the other. No, you read it with your intuition. And the most important skill to develop when you read sort of tarot cards specifically, not just tarot, but cards, the most important skill is the ability to look at the different cards and create a story from them, so that it's not a series of disjointed messages, but rather a full narrative, a full storytelling of what you're going through, what is coming up. So obviously the way that we do it here is really you know, with quick readings, with like mini readings, so you don't get to see maybe like the full, you know, meatiness of the reading. But a big reading would be like lots of these, like that kind of reading expanded. So even the mini readings should be accurate. Of a worry if they're not. Even the mini readings should be accurate, but the complete readings are much more of like a roadmap of what's going on in your life. And it's your intuition that allows you to put all those cards together to create a cohesive image of the person's life, basically. I hope that answers the question. That's a fabulous question. So Robert says, Oh, thanks. I guess I would provide the reading and ask if it's something she's willing to live with. Clearly not going to change. If she isn't able to have a sort of open relationship or can't accept it, then help her find the strength to change her situation and leave. So I'll tell you, the worst thing was in that is that she said, will he ever change? And obviously, as a woman to woman, I want to say, just walk away. He'll never change. But I'm getting paid to look at her cards, so I had a little look, and it said he will change in about 4 years. So I said to her initially, he will change, but it'll be years. And I'm feeling in my heart that her heart jumped at that. And she was like, oh, he will change. And I'm like, yeah, but this is making you ill right now. And I said to her, look, I didn't want to tell you how many years, because when I say years, I was hoping it would kind of put her off, because it was showing up as years. I was hoping it would put her off, and that she'll think like years. I'm not going to wait years, but she was very excited with the prospect of years. It's better than decades. And I said to her, what it showed is something like 4 years. Are you able to wait 4 years, or do you want to be with somebody who is already now, a whole mature person and capable of, showing love and accepting love and sharing love, like a grown up. Um, so in a way, that was even worse, because she asked, will he change? Will he ever change? And I was like, yeah, but you should still leave. So yeah, that's really interesting. So Mo Ali says, please for a card for any New Year love. Let's see if there's any New Year love for you. Yes? Right. Complicated. It says that who um somebody who is right, let me start from the beginning. Yes, there is the potential for New Year love. Um, it's also showing that once you've been through that New Year love, you're going to be quite keen to be alone for a while. It shows somebody coming in, and that person is like so independent, and it's fun for you, but you feel like they don't necessarily want you, that they can manage just fine, without just fine without you. So it's not that the person like doesn't love you or isn't interested. No, there is New Year love, but I feel like you want somebody where it's like a real, a real storybook love. And that's not the kind of love that's coming up for you. The kind of love that's coming up for you is really sort of quite practical, quite pragmatic. And I'm not sure if that's something that you will want, at that time. So it's a yes. It's a yes. But I think the first love in the new year is not really for you. And it's a great person, a lot of fun, but just not the style of love that you're looking for. After that, another one, a little better. Rob says what's sad about that is she saw 4 years him change, but not the damage. 4 more years of this will. I hope she finds some peace. I know I said to her, I'd love to talk more, but I've got to go live on YouTube, which is, kind of a funny. And then I said to her, I will talk to you afterwards if you need. I was just sort of checking one eye to see if she was needing the support. Oh, we've got a question from somebody new. I haven't seen your name before. So, Swati says, hey, can I ask Anthony feelings and intentions currently? Absolutely, Swati. Let's have a look. Anthony, feelings and intentions. So, his feelings or intentions are quite different. So, I'm pleased that you asked it in that kind of way. His feelings are very broad. He's interested in growth. He's interested in getting to know you. He's interested in having lovely times with you. He's all about the good life, about enjoying life, living his life with you. His intentions, however, are to enjoy as much as he needs to enjoy and then, carry on with his life. So we've got a good time. We've got not a long time. So ask Anthony about his dating history because I think that will give you a lot of useful information that you can utilize when it's time for you to decide whether Anthony is worth your time or not. Kim Princess says, I hope she finds some peace too. I do too. I think there's a lot of situations where as a reader, you give a reading and it's tough. It's not something that you want to communicate, that you might not want to sort of carry with you. I'll give you another example in a second. First, let me welcome Aisha. Thank you for asking earlier on the DMs whether I was going live. I did. And thank you from Swati. So let's do Aisha's and then talk about some more examples. Aisha says, when and how will I meet my life partner for marriage? I'm single and seeing proposals. That is nice. A good position to be in. Let's see, you've got to make a really, really good choice. When and how. Right. I feel like it's somebody that you'll meet face to face, not online, but it does come about in a more traditional way. So it is a match. It is like a matchmaker match. And it is an introduction where parents are involved, cups of coffee, visits to the house. It looks traditional, but really sort of very heart-centered, very personal. And it looks like it's somebody who is older than you. So at first, you feel a little bit reluctant, but it's somebody who is older because he wanted to finish all his studies. And I'm seeing like a lot of education, PhD, and that he wanted to finish all his studies before he even agrees to sort of meet one lady. I feel like this is really in the next few months. So it's within this year. Let us know, and we're all going to come and dance in your wedding. Thank you, Aisha. So I was going to tell you this story. I don't know if you heard this story before, but when I was a young reader, many years ago, I used to do a psychic fair. So for 4 times a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we would go to different places. Each person comes from their house. We didn't sort of go together. We'd meet at the place, and there would be like a room with 7 tables at the 7 psychics each time. And wow. Sorry, message just came through. You might be able to see it on YouTube, which is so bonkers that I can't even sort of put it to screen. But again, thank you for the engagement. So in that psychic fair, I would have sort of people come for a reading who I've never sort of been in contact with, who I've never met before. It's also like we're talking a long time ago. It's before social media. So for those people, it was the first time they saw me as well. Anyway, I did a reading for a lady, and I used to record the readings on a cassette tape. That's how long ago that is. And it was a lady whose partner was hugely unsuitable for her. They had been through infidelity, and they split up and got back together and all sorts. Anyway, I said to her, listen, you have to leave him. You have to leave him. And if you don't want to have that conversation with him, just, give me a call and I'll ring him and tell him that you're not with him anymore. Anyway, the next time, like a month later, when we were in the same location, he came for a reading and he was annoyed. Not only did she tell him everything, but she got him to listen to the tape as well. And I said to him, look, but you guys, the reading was right. The reading was accurate. You guys are really bad for each other. And he was like, yeah, but you still shouldn't have said what you said. He said, what he actually said was, you should have stayed on the TV. I'm like, it's not for lack of trying. I'd have loved. But yeah, so that was kind of scary. It was also a good lesson in not saying things like you have to leave him, and going more for, it'll be so much better for you if you leave him. You'll have a much better life if you leave him. Um, so that was an interesting lesson. It was a good lesson. And also, it showed me that people will, like partners will have readings like about one another. And I have got like long-term clients where I'm like the psychic for one partner and I'm also the psychic for the other partner. And sometimes, we kind of talk about the other person who is also my client. But the reading is always, weirdly, the reading is always really, really individualistic, because people view things in, like, from a really different perspective, if you know what I mean. And so I could be doing a reading, say, for a wife, and I will see that the husband is like super, super loyal and, will go to the ends of the earth with her. And then I'll do a reading, say, for the husband, and it'll be like, he's got a crush on the neighbor, for example. This is not a real example. I usually use real examples. This one happens to be fabricated. And the crush on the neighbor wouldn't show up in the wife's reading because it doesn't touch her life at all. It doesn't change her relationship at all. You know what I mean? So each reading kind of describes things for the person receiving the reading in the exact way that they need to, that they need to hear it, that they need to understand it. Now we're going to do a few more readings. We have got a few more minutes. But if any of you have got your thumbs free, look for the like button on your device and press it. It really helps. It helps me show up. I think, have I got a message? Yes, I've got an initial message from Grizzly Chris, who runs the channel, who owns the channel. And he says, you can support me by sending stars. Stars help me earn money to make more content. So with the same energy, with the same vibe, go right away and press the like button. So we've got a message from somebody sharing his love with us, saying Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. Have faith not in our works, but his holy work on the cross. Thank you so much. I know that this is your way to share your spiritual love with us, and I appreciate it. Thank you. The one I had to block and delete was not like this at all. Not friendly. So if anyone would like a few cards to set you off to a happy new year. So, for example, a card like this. This is great news, isn't it? This is a card of like weddings, marriages, couples that have maybe come from different backgrounds. And maybe she came with her son and he came with his son into this relationship. It's a beautiful card. It's a lovely card that depicts a relationship, but sometimes it can show up in a reading and is exactly not what you want, because maybe you want to step away from the relationship. Maybe you've decided the relationship is not for you anymore, and this comes up, and it's good news. It's great news, but it is definitely not the news that you want. So yeah, that's still like on the topic of good news. Is it really good news? So if there's no more questions coming in, I want to thank everybody for the time that you spent with me. I'm going to be back on with Laura Daligan on Tuesday at lunchtime. The show is already scheduled on YouTube, on my YouTube. It's scheduled on Facebook. We're scheduled to go live at 11:30. We've got one last quick reading with Anita, who says, "Hi, Inbaal and all. Could I get a reading for the year ahead, please?" Absolutely. Let's do a little reading with the highlights for the year ahead. So, I don't know if you're ready for this. It shows a lot of love, big love, also passion, and it says change. So, this change will be around your romantic life. There's going to be more romance coming in. There's going to be more passion coming in. If we're looking for a time scale, that will be around August, because this card comes up for the sign of Leo. So that is kind of the highlight of the year. Changes for the better around love, romance, and passion. It's not the only changes that will take place. So this year is very much under the ringing bells of change, but this is the main, most noticeable one that will come up. Oh, there's more questions coming in. That's lovely. Robert says, Thursday at lunchtime, you mean? Yeah, 11:30 in the afternoon. Maria, who is a Scorpio, says, I'm wondering when I will get my first kid. I'm 33 now, turning 34 this year. Many happy returns. No kids yet. One abortion in 2020. I'm single at the moment. Let's have a look. So for Maria, I think you said 2 kids on me. Let's see. So we've got this year, next year, year after. So 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029, 2030, 2031. Right. Actually, and I think this is going to be quite surprising for you, we could be looking at a first pregnancy already this year, and then another one 3 years down the line. So 34, 37 in terms of ages. I don't know if you've already met like the prospective dad or not, but it looks like it is time for you to start having your babies. And Anita says, sounds great. Thank you. I love that you're enjoying it. Right. So second attempt at saying goodbye to everyone. Thank you for spending this time with me. I had the best time with you, and I will see you hopefully on Thursday. Happy New Year again.